Let's look at how to create a data frame in Pandas and how to add rows into it. So the first thing is import Pandas as PD. Okay, and to create a data frame, let's call our data frame df and pd.dataframe. This is case sensitive, so you can always type in a couple of letters and just press tab on your keyboard to see the actual spelling in cases. So click on it. Okay, this command creates an empty data frame. If you have data already ready to add into it, you can add it here. So you can add it as a list of rows. So the first row, let's say I have 1 and 2, and second row is 3 and 4. Okay, and you can also give it column names. So columns equal to, let's say the first column is A, the second column is B. And if you run this, you can see what it created. So this is the first row, 1 and 2. Second row is 3 and 4. Okay, so this is one way to create it. You could also create this as a dictionary using a dictionary. So df equal to pd dot data frame, and then you could have created a dictionary with list as the input. So list of 1, 2. So 1, 3 in this case, because this is column A, and B 2, 4. Okay, yeah, say list. So this has to be a dictionary, and if you provide it with a dictionary, you can also create the same data frame. Okay, to reference a self row from this data frame, to reference a column from this data frame, you can use the square brackets and give it the column name, and this will give you the data from that column. To reference a row, you have to use the location command .loc and then give it the row number. So you have to give it the index. So if I give it 0, it will provide me with the data from the first row. Okay, give it 2. If you ask for an index that doesn't exist, you will get an error like this, value error. But if you can use this to set a number though. So if I set this to be equal to, let's say 6, and then check what our data frame is, you can see it added a new row, and the index for the row is 3, and it entered these numbers into the Pandas data frame. Now, as you can see here, this index, it doesn't have to be incremental. It just has to be a unique identifier. That's all. So if I had change this to 1, it will update the first row. Okay, and it doesn't have to be in order. So you could enter the information like this. If you had information about both columns A and B, you can enter this as a list. So this could have been a list of, let's say, 6 and 7. Okay, so you can see it updates both the numbers 6 and 7. If you give it more numbers, again you'll get some kind of error. So these are multiple ways of entering information into a data frame. And if you have a loop, for example, for I in range 5, and you would like to iterate over the data frame and add information into the data frame, you can do that. You can just say location, and this will be tied to the iteration number I equal to, and let's just make a dummy list of I times 2 and I times 3, for example. Okay, and this will enter a row each time this loop runs. Okay, so you can create 0, 1, 3, 2, 4. So you can see it's not in the order. It depends on how you created it. So let's initialize this first. Let's just create an empty data frame. You can say data frame equal to pd dot data frame. And let's say we just care about the column number, so it's going to be empty. So columns equal to A and B. Okay, so this will create a data frame from scratch and then enter all this information into it through the loop. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so going back to our example for the bracketing method, here we are creating, we have a loop that is basically printing out this information. Maybe you want to enter this into a data frame. So just go into your function and create an empty data frame. So we call it result pandas.dataframe. Just make sure you have imported data frame here. So I'm gonna add PD. So pandas.dataframe, and you can give it meaningful column names. Columns equal to XL, XU, XR, for example. And then where instead of printing it, we can just say, or let it print it as well. You can enter the information about XL and XR here. You say result dot location I equal to XL, XU, and XR. It has to be in the same order. Okay. And if we run this, and we would like the bisection method to return this result. So at the very end, I would say return result. Result equal to bisection method, and we would like to preview what is inside result. And you can see it has given us exactly one result. Let's try to run this. So it's only running it once because I put the return command apparently inside the for loop. So after the first iteration, it just stops by returning. So make sure this is outside the for loop but inside the function. So only one tab needed. Okay. So let's run this. So there you have it. So you have the same information that was printed before in a nice table. Now there is one issue with this. You can see that this XL has been updated. So instead of so this XR is not in between these two values. XR and XL are the same here. That's because we did this function after we updated our intervals. Okay, so maybe it might be a better idea to put these two lines right before you update the interval. So right after we compute the new XR value. Okay, so let's run this. Run this. So now you can see the new XR value is in between the brackets XL and XU. Okay, and that's it.